When the lights go out and the world outside grows quiet, many people imagine they will drift effortlessly into a peaceful sleep. But for countless Americans over 50, bedtime can feel more like the start of a nightly battle. The mind won't stop racing, the body feels tense, and the clock seems to move faster with every passing minute. If this sounds familiar, you're far from alone. Studies show that more than half of adults over 50 experience some form of sleep difficulty, whether it's trouble falling asleep, waking frequently during the night, or rising too early in the morning. Poor sleep doesn't just leave you feeling tired. Over time, it can affect memory, weaken your immune system, raise blood pressure, and even contribute to weight gain. Yet there is a simple, natural tool that has helped millions of people around the world sleep more deeply and wake feeling more refreshed. That tool is mindfulness meditation. At its core, mindfulness meditation is about training your attention to rest in the present moment. Without judgment, it's not about emptying your mind or forcing yourself to relax. Instead, it's about observing your thoughts and sensations gently. Like watching clouds pass through the sky, this shift in attention has a profound effect on both body and mind. It calms the nervous system, slows the heart rate, and signals to the brain that it's safe to let go. I want to introduce you to Margaret, a 62-year-old retired teacher from Ohio. For years, she struggled with insomnia. She tried herbal teas, darkening her bedroom, even expensive supplements. Some helped for a night or two, but nothing lasted. Then a friend invited her to a local community center's mindfulness class. At first, Margaret was skeptical. She told me she didn't think she could sit still, and she worried it might be too new age for her. But with gentle guidance, she learned a simple breathing practice she could do in bed. The results surprised her. Within a week, she noticed she was falling asleep more quickly. After a month, she could get through most nights without waking. Her mornings felt brighter. She told me, "It's like my body finally remembered how to rest." Margaret's story isn't unique. Science backs it up. Research from the University of Southern California found that older adults who practiced mindfulness meditation for just 6 weeks reported significantly better sleep quality and less fatigue during the day. One reason is that mindfulness interrupts the cycle of stress and sleeplessness. Often, when we lie awake at night, our minds replay the day's worries or anticipate tomorrow's challenges. This mental overactivity keeps the body in a state of alertness. Mindfulness shifts the focus away from those racing thoughts and toward the here and now, your breath, the feel of the sheets, the sound of a fan in the background. As your mind settles, your body follows. Imagine lying in bed and instead of thinking about bills, health concerns, or family problems, you simply notice the gentle rise and fall of your chest. You feel the air entering your nostrils, cool and refreshing, and leaving warmer on the exhale. Your shoulders soften into the mattress. This is the doorway to rest that mindfulness offers. And the beauty is, you don't need special equipment, a perfect environment, or even a lot of time. You just need willingness and a bit of guidance. In a moment, I'll walk you through how to start a mindfulness practice specifically for better sleep, but first, it's important to understand why it works so well for people in midlife and beyond. As we age, changes in hormones, activity levels, and health conditions can all disrupt sleep. For example, the natural production of melatonin, the hormone that signals your body it's time to rest, decreases. Medical issues like arthritis or sleep apnea may add discomfort. Emotional stress from life changes, retirement, caring for a loved one, or dealing with loss can weigh heavily. Mindfulness doesn't directly change these factors, but it changes your relationship to them. Instead of tensing against discomfort, you learn to soften around it. Instead of becoming trapped in a loop of anxious thoughts, you can notice them, let them pass, and return to a calm center. Over time, this skill becomes second nature. You carry it beyond bedtime into your days, making you more resilient, less reactive, and more at ease. One of the most common mistakes people make when they can't sleep is trying too hard. They'll either thinking, "I need to fall asleep now," or "I'll be exhausted tomorrow." That pressure alone can keep you awake. Mindfulness removes the pressure by shifting your goal from falling asleep to resting and awareness. Paradoxically, when you stop trying to sleep and simply allow yourself to be, sleep often comes on its own. Let's return to Margaret for a moment. When she first began practicing mindfulness at bedtime, she wasn't aiming to fall asleep right away. She simply made it her goal to rest quietly and follow her breath. Sometimes she would count her inhales and exhales up to 10, then start again. Other nights, she would imagine each breath as a gentle wave washing over her, carrying away the tension in her body. She noticed that even on nights when she didn't fall asleep quickly, she still felt more rested in the morning because her mind hadn't been caught in the usual storm of restless thoughts. This is one of the great gifts of mindfulness. It gives you a choice. You can choose where to place your attention. You can choose to notice your breath instead of your worries. You can choose to soften your body instead of tightening it. And with practice, those choices become easier and more automatic. In a way, mindfulness for sleep is like training a friendly pet. At first, the mind is like a playful puppy that runs everywhere, chasing every sound and movement. You gently call it back, over and over, without anger or frustration. Eventually, the puppy learns to stay close. In the same way, each time you bring your mind back to the present, back to your breath, you're teaching it how to settle. For people over 50, this skill is invaluable. Not only does it help with sleep, but it can also improve memory, reduce anxiety, and lower blood pressure. The practice itself can be as short as 5 minutes, or as long as you wish. You can do it sitting up in a chair before bed, or lying down once you've turned off the lights. The key is consistency. Think of it like brushing your teeth. It works best when you do it every day. I once worked with a man named Robert, a 70-year-old widower who had been taking prescription sleep medication for nearly a decade. He was concerned about the side effects, including grogginess and memory lapses, and wanted to try a more natural approach. We started with a simple body scan meditation. Lying in bed, Robert would bring his attention to his toes, noticing any sensations. Then slowly move up through his feet, calves, thighs, and so on, all the way to the top of his head. If his mind wandered, he would gently return to wherever he had left off. Within 2 weeks, he noticed he was falling asleep before even finishing the scan. Over the next few months, he was able to reduce his medication under his doctor's guidance. What made the difference for Robert wasn't just the technique, but the way it taught him to let go of control. For years, he had approached sleep like a problem to solve, something to wrestle into submission. Mindfulness helped him see that sleep is not something you can force, it's something you invite. Your role is to create the right conditions: a calm mind, a relaxed body, and a willingness to rest without demanding results. Let's try a brief exercise together. If you're listening in a safe, comfortable place, close your eyes. Take a slow breath in through your nose, feeling your lungs expand, then exhale gently through your mouth. Notice the way your shoulders sink a little lower as you breathe out. Bring your attention to the feeling of your body resting where it is. Feel the weight of your arms, the softness of your jaw. As thoughts arise in, they will just imagine placing them on a leaf and letting it float down a stream. You don't need to chase them or push them away. They'll drift off on their own. After just a few minutes, you may notice a sense of heaviness in your limbs, a sign that your body is moving toward rest. Even if you stop here and go about your evening, you've already given your nervous system a signal to slow down. This kind of practice can be woven into a bedtime routine, along with other sleep-supporting habits like dimming the lights, turning off screens, and keeping a consistent sleep schedule. The combination of mindfulness and healthy sleep hygiene can transform your nights. Of course, like any skill, it takes patience. There will be nights when your mind feels especially busy or your body feels restless. That's not a sign of failure, it's simply an opportunity to practice. Remember, mindfulness is not about having a perfectly quiet mind, it's about noticing what's happening without getting tangled in it. Over time, you'll begin to notice subtle changes. You'll feel calmer as bedtime approaches, you'll wake up less during the night, and when you do wake, you'll be able to return to sleep more easily. These improvements build on each other, creating a foundation of better rest and better health. Sleep becomes less of a struggle and more of a natural part of your rhythm, the way it's meant to be. As your practice deepens, you may notice that mindfulness begins to touch other areas of your life beyond sleep. You might find yourself feeling less reactive during the day, more patient in conversations, and more aware of small moments of beauty, a bird singing outside your window, the warmth of a cup of tea in your hands. This is because mindfulness strengthens the part of your brain responsible for regulating emotions and reducing stress. And when stress goes down, sleep quality naturally improves. For older adults, this connection is especially important because our bodies become more sensitive to stress. Hormones like cortisol, even small worries, can keep the mind on high alert, disrupting the natural sleep cycle. Mindfulness acts as a gentle brake, slowing that cascade before it gets out of control. I remember talking to a woman named Linda, who was 68 and had been caring for her husband after his stroke. The constant responsibilities left her exhausted, but when she finally lay down at night, her mind would race through lists of things to do the next day. She told me it felt like there was no off switch. When she started practicing mindfulness before bed, she didn't notice a dramatic change overnight, but after about 3 weeks, she realized she was falling asleep without replaying the day's events in her mind. She also began waking up with more energy, which made her caregiving duties feel less overwhelming. For Linda, mindfulness became a small act of self-care that had ripple effects on every part of her life. If you're wondering how to get started, keep it simple. Choose a method that feels comfortable, focusing on your breath, scanning your body, or even listening to a guided meditation designed for sleep. Set aside just 5 or 10 minutes at the same time each night. Turn it into a ritual. Like washing your face or brushing your teeth, the consistency will train your mind to associate the practice with rest. You might also keep a small journal by your bed to jot down lingering thoughts before you begin. That way, your mind feels lighter, and you're less likely to dwell on those ideas once the lights are out. Another tip is to be kind to yourself on nights when sleep doesn't come easily. Instead of watching the clock or worrying about the hours slipping away, remind yourself that resting quietly is still restorative, lying in bed with your eyes closed. Practicing mindfulness allows your body to conserve energy and heal, even if you're not fully asleep. And often, when you stop demanding sleep, it comes more quickly. The more you practice, the more you'll see that mindfulness is not about perfection, it's about presence. Every night is different, and so is every meditation. Some nights your mind will settle quickly, other nights it may wander. Both are part of the process. What matters is showing up for yourself, again and again, with patience and compassion. Over time, you'll begin to trust that your body knows how to rest, and you'll give it the space it needs to do so. So tonight, when you get into bed, I invite you to try it. Take a slow breath, feel your body sink into the mattress, and let your attention rest gently on the present moment. Imagine each exhale carrying you closer to the quiet center inside yourself, where sleep waits like a calm, welcoming friend. There's no need to chase it. Just be still and let it find you. And as you drift into that soft darkness, know that you are giving yourself a gift, one that nourishes your mind, your body, and your spirit. With each night of mindful rest, you are building a foundation for better health, more energy, and a brighter tomorrow. Sleep well.